So in September of 2015, Mary, Jamal, and I were crazy enough to think that we could do more together. When we first started, when we talked about what we would call ourselves and why we should do this and why we should do it now, we really kept landing on because we can do more together. I'm Bridget Bell, class of 2004. Henry O. Flipper was the first Black man to graduate from West Point in 1877. So many people may not know that he was not the first Black person to get admitted to West Point. He was the first to graduate. His story is amazing in that he was silenced. He did not have friends. He did not have supporters when he was there. He was born a slave and overcame that. The fact that we walk in the footsteps of someone who was born in bondage, entered the most challenging undergraduate experience in the nation, in the world even, and lived to tell the story of what it meant to go through that and not have anyone to lean on. It's important for us to tell that story. It's important for us to know where we came from. It's important for us to make sure that we help other people understand what it means to be us now.
Mary Tobin, West Point class of 2003. I applied for the school, just like I applied for Spelman, Brown, Georgia Tech, all the things. And there was something about when I got that acceptance letter into West Point. My mama was proud, my daddy was proud, the community was proud. I was in newspapers. All of a sudden people were saying that me attending a school like West Point was history. Didn't understand it then, but I said, you know what? If all these people are betting on me and I can make my community proud, I can make my family proud, let me just try it out. Standing there in a circle surrounded by cadets who looked like me when I was 18 and 19 years old and sharing with them lessons learned, successes, best practices, my failures, I suddenly realized that I needed a me when I was there and I was the me for them. When they said, Mary, let's form a community, a family really, of Black alumni who will come back and give back to these cadets, who will mentor active duty officers, who will help support other grads, Black graduates in their local communities, I was sold.
My name is Jamal Robinson, West Point class of 2010. First of all, I love West Point. West Point changed my life. Coming from Cleveland, Ohio, east side of Cleveland, growing up in the violence and drugs and things of that nature that I saw. With West Point, there were still gaps as a Black graduate, as a Black man graduate, as an Army football player, there were gaps. So what I wanted to do, going back to our first Henry O. Flipper and some of the other great West Point graduates that came through, I wanted to stand on their shoulders. An issue that I ran into was when I would go to schools and meet with influencers in the area and speak to black people, then they had such a negative connotation, the same connotation I had about the United States Army. And I knew if I could just share my perspective with them, they would see a light in a sense of the leadership and why I chose it. Hopefully what they saw in me, they could see in themselves.
We started Do More Together in 2016 to make sure that we did not miss the opportunity to tell that story, to mobilize our community, and to build bridges within the nation. We are the premier leadership institution of the world. We also are Black, we are African American, and we are born out of so many people who have walked the challenges that our nation has undertaken and overcome those. And we have to make sure that we are here to continue that legacy, but also to foster that growth and that understanding across many different backgrounds.
It has been hard for me to speak up on behalf of Black women cadets, Black male cadets. It's been hard for me to talk to reporters and call out my alma mater and say, we could be doing better. There's still racism there. My reputation has been impacted because of that. But if 100 years from now, there is some graduate standing in front of my grave and saying, I am a reflection of what Mary Tobin, Jamal Robinson, and Bridget Bell did back in 2016, then it is all worth it. It is all about leaving a legacy for others, leaving this world better than we found it.